Go. Okay, guys, technical issues. We're back. All right. Sorry about that. All right. Let me start over again. I'm Tamara Caulder Richardson, and I'm your host. I'm a 6-time near-death experiencer, as well as a professional evidential psychic medium. And welcome to the Seeking Heaven channel. We have on Fridays our live chat, which is Seekers Speak. And we have a special guest for you today. Before we get started and before I introduce them, I wanted to first of all, thank you for joining us. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and also like and tell your friends. We're going to be having a lot of cool stuff. So we have a premiere, whether that be a near-death experiencer, a spiritually transformative experience story, which would be on Thursdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and also Friday is a live chat. So today we have a very special guest for you who premiered yesterday, which is Jacob Cooper. And here we go. Everybody's chiming in now. Hello. Great. Good to have everybody. Oh, hey guys. Good to see you. Hey, Amelia. Laura. Tonight's going to be fun. We've got a very special guest. And as I promised you, this is like a first time ever. Let me go ahead and bring on our guest, Jacob Cooper. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me back on. My pleasure, Tamara. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I can't wait for tonight. Let me tell you a little bit about Jacob. Jacob, he did the premiere with us, and he is a new author, and I just purchased his book, Life After Breath, and you can get that on Amazon. We'll put the link below or in the chat box as well. You'll have both. And he is a psychotherapist, a Reiki healer, as well as a past life regressionist. So I asked him, could we do a live group regression? I know that I'm trying to think of her name. I don't know if it's Denise was, but she did. I went to one of hers once. It was a live group regression. Now, you can't go into the detail like a private session or any of that. And before we start, Jacob is going to explain like what this is all about. What is this whole past life thing? And we're going to just, when we do this, pick a time that we won, that we were happy in life. So, you know, we all need to be a little bit happy and encouraged these days. So I'm going to give you the floor, Jacob, and you tell us, how'd you get involved with as far as being a psychotherapist in past life? And I know you said you've had it yourself, and want to hear from your point of view, being not only a regressionist, but also someone who's had regression, and maybe go over some terms for our audience, and then we'll kick it off for a past life regression because they're popping in as we speak. Hey, Adriana.
Well, good evening, all listeners, and thank you for joining us. It's around 6 o'clock here on the East Coast, and not sure what time it is by you, but it's a pleasure to be joining you here. So, for those of you who aren't familiar, I am the new author of the book Life After Breath. It's a transformative, powerful memoir on my near-death experience. And part of my near-death experience was that I was able to have a lot of awareness, not only to looking at this lifetime in deeper angles, but also understanding, of other, pivotal lifetimes that, I've lived as it speaks to this lifetime right now. And so as a child, I would have a lot of what you call spontaneous past life recollections, because children are very aware. They're not as, kind of programmed, if you will, and they're able to have a lot more recollection connectivity many times, to higher consciousness. And so I was really inspired within my own memories that were sometimes difficult to provide people with a safe space and a capacity to be able to process, their past lives. And oftentimes as a therapist, the number one question that people have is, why am I here and who am I? And that's a very pivotal question. If you don't know who you are, you could be anybody. If you don't know where you're going, you could be anywhere. So having that distinct awareness past the body, past this narrative, is important to really live out not only our life's purpose, but our deeper soul's drive and purpose. And so past life regression is a great way to really connect with the deeper part of ourselves that is here before we got to this planet and will be here long after, we're in this body. And so we've been taught how to integrate in this world, but not necessarily how to be empowered within our own spirit many times for the vast majority of us. So it's a wonderful exercise for people to have a deeper awareness to some of their greater gifts, some of their greater lessons, and a great GPS for the soul, especially during these times that are very, for a lot of people, turbulent and or uncertain, to have some degree of certainty.
No, absolutely. Well, tell us a little bit about, because I know some people are like, what is past lives? I will just tell you because you can only tell your experience. As for me, I've had like over 300 hours of past life. I've seen things I can't even imagine, and I don't expect anyone to do it today. So I'm not going to go into that. Meaning, I really went deep into it, but you can do that when you get kind of better at it. When you do have one-on-one sessions, and of course, you can be able to, if you want to, get in touch with Jacob yourself on his website is what, jacobcooper.com. Like if you want to pursue this further. Yeah.
Yes. If anyone's interested, they could book a private session. I do Zoom sessions. It's jacoblcooper.com. Now, I know Tamara was hitting on the point that she had a lot of different experiences and understanding. And she brought up a great point that in a sense that, I look at past life regression as if we have the conscious mind, which is every thought that we're aware of, as we know it in this moment. And the subconscious is almost kind of like the internet database, which is every thought, deed, and action that has happened that even goes beyond this body. And so it's a great way to kind of get in touch with not only some things within this lifetime that we might not be aware of, but other things beyond this body in this lifetime. And so from a therapist perspective, I was very motivated to do this from being in practice for a couple of years and seeing clients getting to a certain point, but hitting a wall. And, many times past life regression and hypnosis in general is a great way to break that wall between what your conscious mind wants and the gap between the subconscious, which, at times is not in harmony, in unison with one another. And so it's a wonderful exercise. And the more that you practice without as much pressure on result orientation, the more effective it's going to be. It's like anything else. The subconscious mind is a muscle, and the more effectively it's worked, the more kind of droplets of awareness will come into your everyday life.
Well, so let me ask you, is it too personal to say you've done the past life? Do you want to say kind of what you thought it was like? I mean, I don't care talking about it. I've seen all sorts of stuff. I've been equally a man and a woman. If you want to go further, I've been both at the same time too, kind of a natural defect. And in Egypt, saw that. I've seen aliens. I've seen different races, some healthy bodies, some really awful bodies. I've seen being like a quasi, like an elephant man type person. I've seen being very wealthy. I've seen all sorts of stuff. So why don't you speak about what your experience and what you think?
Yes. I mean, there's two kind of clients that usually come to me. The client that's looking for past life regression for entertainment kind of purposes, just to kind of see who they are, what they're about. And then the other type of client that comes to me for practice or session rather is one who's looking to make real practical change and to have breakthroughs with unexplained, let's say, phobias or physical disorders, social understandings to pivotal people in your life. So it's a great way to find insight, on different key areas. Now, within past life regression, a great saying that a friend of mine, her name is Anna Miranda. She's, it kind of rhymes, but she's a very well-known medium, psychic and intuitive rather. Her saying is spirituality without practicality is not, really that meaningful, in a sense that within past life regressions, the goal is not just to kind of see that we're all these cool things, but to find ways to learn how we can integrate it into this lifetime so that we can evolve and learn. Personally, the lifetime that really I speak about in Life After Breath that is closest to my near-death experience in terms of kind of karmic ties and a lot of parallels is a lifetime in which I took my own life and I committed suicide. And this has been picked up by numerous intuitives and psychics without me before I even went public. And I think the near-death experience really ties into that very closely, in a sense that the NDE taught me to really trust in that light inside versus the darkness on the outside, and to have more faith, within the universe, within God, over my fears. And it was something that I had to learn, but more importantly, a lesson that I really had to be able to vocalize to other people. And so certainly working in the field of mental health, I do view a suicide as a decision that we try to avoid at all costs. But at the end of the day, when there's a will, there's a way. But part of it is finding people to have greater awareness and empowerment to trust in what's inside of themselves, and to trust in, all of the support systems on the other side, and give power to that over a temporary difficulty that we're put in our life. And so that was a big kind of reason for getting into this, and a big parallel with the two lives, and kind of the reference of the light at the end of the tunnel of the NDE, and feeling very trapped and looking at darkness in the face and still being able to see the light as not something on the outside, but something that never left me. So,
Right. Well, we're a continuation. I mean, here's the thing. People today, I can't tell you what to do. It's going to be so light and fun. But as far as some people go, reincarnation, past lives, is it real? Well, my opinion on that, the only way that you're going to ever be able to know that is if you experience it. Because I could tell you all the things that I've seen. I've seen inventions I've made. I have seen being a different time period and being an explorer and a scientist and finding a cave woman in the ice. And I spent like my whole life to find that one thing. Of them frozen. Think about it. It's like the catch, right? The catch. It's like a Tyrannosaurus Rex or T-Rex, there it is. But it was a cave woman frozen in the ice, completely intact. And I have seen, they weren't really famous things, but I have seen I used to have dreams of Versailles and being there. I wasn't the people there, but I was a dressmaker. I made the dresses. So, this is why people, I think, identify with movies or TV drama series like on PBS or whatever, different time periods. Because honestly, I don't know why, but as soon as we pass, we see everything over there, what's going on here, and then we jump back in the game. So we don't really miss any time periods. So all time periods actually seem kind of familiar. Even like rape scenes in movies, guys will cringe because they've been the woman before. If I see any movies where guys that they have problems where that, like, what is that? Lorena Bobbitt. Like, I couldn't even listen to the story. Well, I'm not a guy now, but I used to be. So I go, oh my God, I can't, this is disgusting. And it's funny because we've been so many things. And I think it rounds us out to be both. And I have seen aliens. I have seen different planets. So
right.
I'm going to let you take it from here and kind of how you want to ease into it. I'm just going to follow. I'm going to do this too. And what I'm going to do is I have a pad that I'm going to write down notes or thoughts or things that I see. But tell everybody how you want them to go about this, because I know they're all pumped. Everybody's like, yeah. Oh, Soul. I haven't seen that. That's a new movie. I want to mention that Soul, where we come back in the reincarnation, the Disney thing by Pixar. Cool.
I was giving a book club presentation last night, and if anyone, now that we're on the book and the movie train, if anyone has seen the movie or the book by C.S. Lewis, The Chronicles of Narnia, I do believe that is really quite symbolic. With how the other side works, where in a sense that they just go into a wardrobe and they enter into it, and the whole other world is there, and they grow up and they grow old, and all these things happen, and they come back, out of the wardrobe in this body, kind of the same way. And that's, very similar with the near-death experience as well, too, when we cross over to the other side. But what I would say is the important thing is, when you do this kind of work, it's a lot different than how we kind of are programmed in this reality. In a sense, in this reality, we're used to the struggle. We're used to fighting for every yard and putting a lot of muscle behind our actions. And I don't know about you, but whenever I have downloads or I find higher awareness, it's often because I'm I'm being very light. It's not a heavy effort. It's a very gentle, kind of increase of awareness, and not saying that's forceful. And so with past life regression, I think the important thing is to let go of the pressure that we have to be somebody or turn into something, and
Absolutely.
recognize that we already are that. It's all there,
Mhm.
in our own eternal book of life. And there's not something that we have to really force or try to like morph into, or just kind of like use a lot of effort to. It's quite simple and quite easy. But the issue is effort has become easy for a lot of people, and easy has become hard for a lot of people. So a lot of it is about letting go, which is a foreign concept to a lot of people, especially in this time. So I say when you let go, you really do, your awareness really does grow. So that's the thing. When we do this group regression, it's going to, again, in my individual sessions and my other group sessions, it's a bit more extended. This is just a light, kind of exercise. But what I would say is never limit what you could find. Because I've had people that I've worked with for, let's say, 3 hours, and they try to muscle and nothing comes up. And I know Tamara could assist this in just 1 second. In this reality and in that reality, anything can change. And that doorway between this world and the next world could open with thousands of linear time frames, all within snapshot moments of like 1 or 2 seconds in this time frame. So I think the
Yes.
important thing to remember is to not compare the eternal versus the infinite reality of this time frame. Does that make
Well,
sense to everybody?
Well, I think too, to add on to that, we are spirit. So, for example, like mediums, we're portals. We're portals to do, and we connect to different, not just places, but different energy vibrations, different things. That's why different mediums connected to whatever. But in reality, we're all portals if we're open. Now, you also want to make sure your portal's clean. You don't want to be going down some crazy place. But I think that's a beautiful way of explaining it. The doorways of our mind and allowing that. And I think that fear doesn't really come up with that. Come into play. I think that people that are fearful, maybe they're fearful of how big they are, and they would have to address that. But and what we're doing now is not necessary. And here's the thing: God doesn't give you anything that you can't handle. So you're not going to, if you can't handle something, you're going to get something light. You're not going to get something
Right.
grandiose, right? Do you notice that with your clients that they're going to start at the level they feel comfortable, don't you think?
Absolutely. And I think a lot of times when you throw hypnosis, that comes with a lot of stigmatization, at it, or people just kind of are worried that they're going to lose control. But I view hypnosis and past life regression as a great way to formulate greater awareness and greater sense of control. And so I'm not, brainwashing you or controlling you.
Oh
Rather,
yeah,
you're more empowered than you've ever been. We're just
right.
not as much of a slave with this reality and our thoughts. That's still happening, but we're able to take a step back and go into the greater seat of the soul, so to speak. So I view meditation, past life regression, hypnosis, all as kind of spa treatment for the soul, and just different angles to really kind of
Beautiful.
fuel and regenerate and recharge the soul and our ability to integrate into our everyday life. So,
Treatment for the soul.
uh,
Put that in as a possible book title. No, I'm a slogan writer. I
yeah,
give people titles all the time.
yeah,
That could be treatment for the soul. That would be
uh,
like, wow.
yeah,
Okay. So, a question I want to go to real quick with Clay, if you can take this. Can past life regression help someone see a common personality thread that might reveal who a person really is and help them understand their true purpose? Do they tie together? I've seen some lives where they're your continuation, but then I've seen they're totally opposite. So, how would you answer that? It's kind of
Yes,
deep.
Clay, I think that's a wonderful question. Like I said before, past life regression is a very holistic exercise in a sense that it's able to look at, unexplained, physical issues, unexplained emotional issues and unexplained, family and social dynamics. And, many times at least I believe that this earth is truly a school for the soul. So if we're able to have a greater vantage point beyond the behavior of the presentation of other people, to understand that they're all part of this stage and this act, we're able to really look past through a lot of those people who are kind of annoying us and seeing those as some of our greatest teachers in our life, as kind of charted before we came here. So that's a wonderful question. The other point is, and I know you talk about the medium, and intuitive element. I've known particularly one particular medium in my life who, is one of hands down the greatest mediums I've ever seen, bar none. And her gifts opened up actually at a Dr. Brian Weiss past life regression seminar. And, that's common when people are using and opening up this muscle. Sometimes you're able to retrieve greater awareness of some of your greater gifts that you have within other lifetimes. And, your third eye could be a lot more opened, as a result of it, and your intuition. So that's another angle that, a byproduct of this exercise too.
And another thing too we want to mention here about this is there's past life and in between lives. I've seen in between lives where you get directives before you come to life, and you actually get instruction. And I think you're right. Once you tap in and you open that, a lot of near-death experience kind of, they're automatically open because of whatever trauma that's happened. Now, a spiritually, transformative awakening could do that too. Or if they say Kundalini or Holy Spirit, or whatever your term that you want to use, can open people up to be receptive to this. But I also really believe it's training a muscle too. I think some intuitive. I think that we all are kind of like that. Some people are more intuitive and jump right into that. I don't know. A lot of you know that. Oh God, I'm so complex. I was in Scientology like quite a few years. Okay. And there was a lot of benefit I got with Dianetics. And that's how I started doing past life stuff. And they were like, you can't do that. You have to be higher up. But I was doing all sorts of crazy stuff and not even staying in session because I would be in the ceiling and they'd say, come back. So this to me really triggered my interest because I was like, this isn't even real, but it was certainly real. I will say this. I used to have a problem with people touching my head, and it wasn't because I was vain, although I don't like people touching me. That's kind of weird, but like strangers. But when I was a kid, I didn't like anyone touching my head, and I had this phobia with my head. My husband said, you still do, but not so much like I used to. And what it was is I ran something, and ran in a session, and it was a past life, and it kept going further and further and further down the chain till it went to a time when I was a knight. And I had a tournament, like a tennis tournament. It was like a joust, but we didn't really hurt each other like the movies. It was just all show, like tennis. And then we had a picnic afterwards. And I was very wealthy. And I was flirting with someone there innocently. And they threw a flower. And it was some girl that somebody was in love with. So when we were supposed to ceremonially ride by one another, not really hurt one another, but when we ceremonially rode past one another, he took that ball and the chain and the spikes and he went and hit. I mean, like, can you imagine being at a tennis match and someone pulling out a gun and shooting someone in the head? That's how crazy this was. Like nobody, because it was like everybody's dressed up. We're going to go to this fancy picnic that was brought in by my servants and all. Yeah. And I had the feelings and the emotions of all this stuff. So I didn't know that this person hated me. I had no clue. And so when I was on the ground, I was literally killed. But, and so my postulate for being done in that moment was, which made sense at the time, it was a long time ago, like 1600s. It might have been a little earlier than that, 1400s, but don't let anyone ever touch your head. Well, that makes sense for then. Well, now what are we? It doesn't make sense. Right?
No,
it doesn't make sense. You got to get a haircut, right?
Being a tennis player myself, I've seen, Jimmy Connors, John McEnroe go off on the court. I've never heard of someone take out a gun on a court. So that's pretty heavy. You made a great point that, if you look at all major religions from Christianity to Judaism, reincarnation or Islam, kind of faith, Muslim-based faith, reincarnation is rooted in a lot of different faiths. For instance, the Council of Constantinople in around 200 or 300 AD banned reincarnation teachings, and in Judaism as well does not emphasize that, other than within Kabbalistic teachings, which was reserved for highly advanced students. And you have to kind of look at a lot of power and control dynamics that went into play with a lot of these faith-based. And so I think inherently we've kind of sometimes internalized that, where our truth at times in the hands of the other. The greatest threat, towards a collective belief system is individuation and having your own individual awareness and individual belief system. That's a threat to collective movements. Yeah. And so I think really past life regression is a lot different than what we think, in a sense that you don't have to become anything or evolve into anything. It's all purely there. And from the first moment we got here, those first 5 years of age, it was all there too. And so I think really it's the process of reduction that we get to expansion, not, accumulating more and more and more as, kind of like spiritual seekers think on this path, if that makes sense.
It does. I mean, this is just, here's the thing. We're experimenting because we're going to be doing a lot of cool stuff on this channel. And, especially when someone's interested and they have a certain expertise, like Jacob with the past life regression, we're going to give it a go. If this is something that people like, I'm already thinking about, we don't know what angle we're going to take on this. It's going to be all very positive, but we may do this again in the spring. So we're giving it a go because this is a way of sampling it out. And also, again, you're not going to get into more intimate, personal stuff like you would with a therapist right there. And I can't imagine you could probably do this over Zoom. I don't even think you need it, right? Can't you do this over Zoom? And we're going to do it over Zoom. So, we're not in Zoom, we're somewhere else, but.
What I think the benefit within a group regression, much like group energy or group prayer, is that when we're in the realm of the deeper hypnoidal states and going into the theme of reincarnation, that's a group energy. And so there's a lot of strengths and benefits, to that energy. Maybe what we could do is you could do the regression, and then maybe towards the latter part, if anyone has any comments, they could share it, as well as they could go on my website as well too, with any of the findings. My recommendation is, if you don't have anything, that's perfectly fine, perfectly normal. I get clients all the time that call me a week or two later saying, "Oh, I had a dream and I remembered this thing." The point is, when you connect to this muscle, at times it might not be open and in front of you like you think it, but it might come to you in different ways because you cracked that muscle. And so within the dream state, or even when you're walking or going for a run, you might just have a feeling or a flashback, or one of your clairs might be more open to the realm of past lives. So that
absolutely
be open to possibilities.
And I think I want to make a big comment here. A lot of it has to do with intention and decision, meaning my intention is to write in the chat what you want to get out of this day. Don't overthink this. You may just say, just to experience it. Maybe you want to just have a glimpse into it. Just write whatever you think, because intention matters. So put that intention down, because that kind of builds excitement. And decision is, I'm going to get something out of this today. It could be a feeling. It could be a joy. It could be, I don't know what, but I think a decision on that. Have you ever met someone, my husband and I always would kid, his dad, he would go over there. Sorry to use you as an example, but he would go over to, we would have a chuckle over this. He would go over to help his dad on the computer. His dad, was an old guy, loved him, but he's now in spirit, but he would go over there to help him on his computer. And he'd get on there, but he would try to teach him the same thing all the time. But he had decided, I can't know this. So no matter how many times he was very patient and would go through this, his dad had already decided, I can't learn. So we don't want to decide, I can't have this. We want to say, I can't have this. I'm going to give it a go. So how about that? Okay, let's get some answers in here. Yeah, it's just a journey of you. That's a good intent. All right, what kind of person I was? Oh, we've done everything. And sometimes it doesn't. Those of you that, are a little like church mouses, now, you could have been a harlot. It just, it could be all over the board, because we have to learn various things. Learning. Yeah, Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. All right, so I'm going to leave this with you, and are we going to go into? See, I'm getting all ready. I'm getting loosen up, guys. Loosen up, loosen up. You want to? I know that I really like to. I do all of my spirit work and go into trance work with three things. It's three breaths. It's all I do. So I don't know how you want to get into it, but I really, get into it with the breath.
Oh, sure. And that's the name of my book, Life After Breath. There's a breath we have in this body, but the ultimate breath is a breath from spirit. So you inhale, you inspire, you inflate that higher realm energy, and you bring that down, and you exhale, all the toxins, all the heaviness. And
Yeah.
so what I want everyone to do is right now, this is going to feel like a very light guided meditation, but taking off that analytical, critical mind, separate yourself and just allow yourself during this time to just let go of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And I want you to be in your chair right here, right now. At the very least, this is a very relaxing exercise, and this is a gift to yourself. This is positive self-care that you're all doing, you're all engaging. I'm very proud of you. And so if you feel called to during this time, you could begin by closing your eyes, although within moments, even if you tried, your eyes are going to be very heavy and it's going to be very difficult for them to open, almost kind of stuck like glue. But when you feel ready, close your eyes and allow yourself to feel your body, feel what's happening. You might feel a knot within your chest. You might feel some stress or pent up energy in your shoulders, in your back muscles, in your hips, your legs. Just as you, through pure thought energy, created that stress or tension in your body, during this moment, through peaceful thoughts and deep in breaths, from 3 to 5 counts, inhale, breathe in the light, and exhale through your mouth from 4 to 8 counts very slowly. Breathe out all the heaviness, sadness, and baggage. We are all truly hot air balloons, unlimited with how high we can soar. With every breath, feel yourself going higher and deeper on the hot air balloon. And every exhale, allowing the heaviness from the basket to let go. Seeing yourself going upwards and upwards into beautiful, deep blue sky and clouds. Feeling yourself letting go of the heaviness, of the sadness, of the limitation of joy, limitation of awareness, and allowing yourself to burst that bubble and let go. One more time, deeply inhale, inflate, feeling your rib cage and chest feel full of breath and full of pure light. And exhale, deflate, let go. Feel through the deepened, extended exhalation all of the heaviness, baggage, judgments, just letting go. Proper breath is a proper gateway to spirit. Limited breath blocks and limits our capacity to soar and to experience greater awareness. Use your breath as your superpower to go into deeper awareness, deeper states of consciousness, more importantly, deepened state of relaxation. I'd like for you during this time to imagine your favorite color sitting and pouring down the top of your head. This could be a beautiful violet, could be a white light, or a gold or silver, whatever color that brings you peace, brings you healing, brings you joy. Just allow yourself to feel that color sitting at the top of your head, pouring down through the top of your head, allowing yourself to sense this color in so many different ways than you see color with your own physical eyes. Use your mind's eye to see the color. Use your awareness to hear it. Feel this beautiful light pouring down the top of your head, down right in your forehead, allowing your brain muscles to feel a lot looser through this color, going into the depths of healing, the depths of blockages that's stopping you from feeling this beautiful color. Now, during this time, I'd like for you to allow this color to travel downwards, 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 right into the back of your neck, letting go of anything in your life that might be a pain in the neck, that might be heavy on your neck, and just allowing your mind's eye to go and allow your neck to be free, feeling your jaw and facial muscles to let go, feeling loose and limp, allowing your body to change in its weight. Your body right now might feel very heavy or very light. Just allow yourself to follow the flow and trust in this beautiful light over your own thoughts, your own judgments, your own fears. Be the light. Now, during this time, allow this beautiful light to go right into your shoulders. So many times we hold the weight of the world on our shoulders. Breathing in this beautiful light into your shoulders, feeling the weight of the world of your shoulders release through your exhale. So breathe in very slowly into your shoulders. Hold it for a couple moments. When you're ready, through your mouth, let go and allow yourself to feel open energy from your shoulders going into your arms, your elbows, your wrists, and your hands. Allow your fingers to be the connecting point of this stream of light. Feel the stream of light going into your fingers, down back into your hands, into your wrists and elbows, shoulders. Now allowing this beautiful, magnificent light to go right into your heart center, allowing this light to be the true, unconditional, unlimited love that you are, and letting go of all the judgments from yourself and others, all the conditional love, all the hurt, pain, sadness, and heaviness that you're holding in your heart. Allow yourself to step into your true, eternal heart, true energy of who you truly are, not what you are in a particular lifetime or particular moment, a deeper level, deepening the unlimited awareness of your pure love. And now allowing this beautiful light to continue its way to travel into your solar plexus, to your stomach muscles and rib cage, going into your hips, your legs, your ankles, and your feet. And so at this time, all you feel and sense is a pure, safe, healing, trusting light that's surrounding your physical body and surrounding your entire energy body or field, feeling protected, connected, redirected by this beautiful light. Just surrendering to this light. It's okay to let go. It's okay to let go of trying to do everything on your own. Allow yourself to expand, become more than your own limitations, become more than your own judgments. You are the light. Now, during this time, there is a person in your life or a situation, as we're all connected as energetic beings that could use some of this healing light, just as you've given to your own body, your own psyche, and your own spirit. You could just beam through your mind's eye or through your heart, sending that person or situation beautiful, healing, transformative, opening light. Now connecting your entire space of wherever you are sitting, surrounding that field with beautiful light. The count of 3, I want you to follow the light where it takes you. 1, letting go of the heaviness of your life in your body. 2, allowing yourself to let go, take a break, and expand just as you go to bed and sleep every night. Become more aware of this space and place between your body and the doorway to eternity. And 3, I'd like for you to open up the doorway to a beautiful, magnificent light that you always are and always have been. Now, during this time, you notice yourself in a beautiful, mystical garden. Allow yourself to inhale the beautiful, fragrant flowers around you, the beautiful aromas. With every step, letting go of all the earth weariness and all the heaviness, and stepping into your own divine majesty, divine palace. During this time, as you're walking, you might see beautiful, peaceful, white clouds above your head, blue sky, endless, beautiful, bright green grass all around you. Just allow yourself to take in, with your own mind's eye, your own experience, whatever you see. During this time, you might even connect to a loved one that you've been missing for quite some time. Might even be a pet. Might even be an angel, a spiritual guide. Whoever this being is that greets you in your presence, and even if it's not a being, just allow yourself to be open to peace that you are and peace that greets you. Allow yourself to flow gently and trusting in peace and love and union. You are perfect just as you are. You always have been. And now, I'd like for you to continue walking down this path, feeling rejuvenated, re-energized, with a deepened sense of awareness and connectivity that you are never alone, and the spirits that are all around you, cheering you on, and quite proud of who you've always been in your ability to express that within each and every lifetime, each and every body, each and every culture, a different gear, but all the same light. One light in different prisms of your own unique expression. Now I'd like for you to take a look at a beautiful palace that's shimmering in its beautiful light, that's quite familiar. This is a structure that you've seen before. Allow yourself to even take notice of what you feel, sense, or even hear during this time. Might be even hearing a color, or sensing a vibration, or feeling infinitely lighter. Just allow yourself to go with the feeling, allowing your thoughts and judgments to go in the distance. When you feel, you heal. And just feel deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper. Now, during this time, I'd like for you, the count of 3, to go in front of this beautiful palace, endless light. 2, allow yourself to get ready to open up the doorway to this beautiful palace of light. And 1, when you're ready, allow the light to gently become in your own awareness, almost having to blind yourself by the brilliant, beautiful light that hits you as you step into its infinite light. Now, during this time, you might even become aware of angels floating in this beautiful palace, or of good joy, of good feeling, of good support all around you, and love. This is quite a familiar palace that you've been into many different times and many different memories here. And now, when you're ready, I'd like for you to take a look at a beautiful staircase that awaits you. When you're ready, allow yourself to go down each and every step of this beautiful staircase, one step at a time, taking a look at the light infinitely above your head, and taking a look as your body as it's floating in your own field as you're going down the staircase. I'd like for you right now at the bottom of the staircase to go into in front of a beautiful door. At the end of this door are an endless corridor of hallways. Every room represents another lifetime, another memory that you've lived. So when you're ready, allow yourself to ask for protection from any of your guides, any of your angels, any of your loved ones. We're not saying that you can never be hurt nor damaged, as these are all just memories, but from learning how to integrate them, they could become quite healing and quite opening in your life. 2, allowing yourself to become ready to open up this beautiful door and endless rooms, endless hallway. And 1, gently, peacefully opening up the doorway, and a gentle wind from the hallway in every door comes to you. A gentle wind of your own eternity, your own lifetimes that you've lived. You've lived and died many different times, all to come back to become aware of the infinite, beautiful, divine being that you've always been. And so now, during this time when you're ready, you could go and gently become aware of any particular doorway that you need to revisit the most, that's most calling you, that's most pivotal to you in this lifetime. Taking your own time to go in front of the door. You could even ask for guidance from your higher mind, or guidance maybe from an angelic being around you. And when you are in front of the door that speaks most closely to what you need to see, feel, and experience in this lifetime, allow yourself to gently go in front of the door. On the other side of the door is a beautiful memory of another lifetime where you've evolved, learned, and have grown from, and are here during this time to just revisit, allowing yourself to become ready to open up this door. The count of 3, getting ready to open up the door of another beautiful lifetime. 2, letting go of any fear that you might have of opening up this door, as you can never be hurt nor damaged, just more awakened, more aware, and more at peace with other endless chapters of your book that you are meant to revise and meant to integrate. And 1, opening up the door. And now allow yourself to notice, what do you experience? What do you see? Notice your surroundings. You might even become aware of a part of the world that you're in. Do you see an ocean? Is it a bedroom? Are you at war? Are you climbing a mountain? Just allow yourself to flow with whatever you see, feel, hear, or experience, and let that flow, and trust in the higher stream of consciousness and awareness coming to you, much like a movie screen does when you're watching a movie. Just letting it happen in front of you, not trying to force it. Just allow the experience to deepen as you let go more and more into the memory. So now, during this time, you might notice a particular name that you're aware of, or a gender, or even a part of you that's quite familiar. For the next 2 or 3 moments, I want you to allow yourself to roll and to go with different memories of this different lifetime, allowing different scenes to come into interplay in front of your mind screen. Just sitting back and watching, observing, not trying to force or criticize. And if you experience nothing, what does that nothing feel like? What does it feel like to experience no thing? Whatever you feel, just go with it. Just be the sacred observer. I'll be with you in just a couple of moments. Allowing each experience to come to you, not coming to it. Very good. Going deeper and deeper. Anything that you see from any era, from any time frame, just allow the different scenes to play themselves out. Let go. All is well. So now, during this time, when you feel that you've sensed a feeling, an image, a recollection, or if you just feel gently a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more at ease, begin to allow yourself just to carry in the light, and any darkness that you might experience or feel, you could just allow your mind's eye or your heart, just as you did to the situation or person earlier in this exercise, to be sent to that particular time frame, knowing that you've moved on, you've evolved, you can never be damaged nor hurt, and just allow yourself to send healing and relaxation and letting go, just as you did when we were breathing into the body and letting go of all the stress or tension. I want you to breathe into your eternal heavenly body, and any part of this particular lifetime that just needs to be let go, needs to be released, so that you could recreate and reproduce different memories, different pathways, and different energies within your lifetime. And so, when you feel a sense of closure or sense of connectivity to some degree, begin by slowly taking yourself out of the doorway. 3, removing yourself and letting go of that time frame. 2, slowly closing the door on that particular time frame or era. 1, noticing that that was then, this is now. You could always revisit it when you want to, but you are made to live the room and door that you're currently living into today, by being able to utilize and integrate all the assets, healings, and greater gifts and lessons from each and every one of your unique, sacred, eternal journey. So during this time, you could just let go of the doorway, let go of the memory, and now I'd like you to come back from the corridor and the hallway, down out through the palace, letting go and smiling at the support system and love that you are forever connected to. And you could come back to this moment and this time frame at any given moment in time. It's all in your own backyard. And allow yourself right now to come back through the top of your head, down into your body, allowing the light to fill every cell, every part of your body, expanding, awakening, and opening all parts of your body during this time. And allow yourself just to feel any shift or any difference within your body, within your breathing, within your feeling and state of awareness during this time. Allow for yourself, when you're ready, to just gently open up your eyes when you're ready. You could gently move around in your chairs, move your jaw muscles around, stretch very slowly in your chair, and just feeling a little bit more different, a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more recharged than when you sat in the chair before this exercise. Very good. Okay, so hopefully you all are awake. None of you fell asleep. If you did fall asleep, that's okay. Maybe you needed that, so don't worry. But the rest of you, if you have anything to share or any feeling that you had, I know this was just a simple sample size of a past life regression and hypnosis session. But if you felt or experienced anything, we would all love to hear what that was. It could have just been feeling more relaxed. So for you, it might not be a big thing, but for us and our listeners, we might look at it differently. So don't feel shy or feel embarrassed. We're all here to support, validate, and listen to all of you. Okay. Susan says that she thought that she was one that was dead, or my brother or sisters were dead. Well, oftentimes within the spirit realm, and Tamara could attest to this, whether that's dream states or past life memories, it's not the same direct language of what we experience. Now, oftentimes death could certainly be a rebirth or a change. And so for you, this exercise could have just been a change or rebirth into the doorway of eternity and coming back home for a couple more minutes and joined by loved ones. But as we know, we truly don't die. We are only reborn within each and every lifetime. And that's one of the greatest reliefs when we leave the body, is that rebirth, that we remember, that we can never die and we are reborn. So any glimpses, visions, feelings, thoughts, or sensations, please, by all means, don't be a stranger. You could share. We'd love to hear from you. Someone sobbing and kneeling, young boy possibly. Well, continue, like we said, to send, healing. And as the days come on, as said before, feel free to write and process anything that you might experience or become aware of, because it's important to, as days come on, to develop a language to things.
Thanks. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, I'm back. Thanks. Thank you. I had muted myself while I was doing this exercise. Sorry about that. And because I was letting, Jacob take this. But I love when you went down the stairs, because as you went down, as you walked down the steps, I became deeper and more concentrated. And then I like how you went through a door to another door, because that kept leading me deeper. And then at one point you said there's a door and a long hallway, and that long hallway, there were all these doors to choose from. Two things in life, we have lots of doors we can choose from. We always think of the big picture, but there's lots of little doors we choose from, and this door and that leads to that door. It's kind of like life. But to me, that was freeing. And then it really opened up, I think, multiple sides of, me looking at that. But it felt like a free feeling. It felt like choice, because we've been so many things. You guys can hear me now just fine, right? Yeah, because it says no sound. Okay, I don't know. Okay, hopefully you can hear me now. But yeah, I felt like, let's look at Laura. I felt relaxed, but didn't see anything. That's okay. Sometimes these things, they take a while sometimes to turn on. It depends. If you're not really normally clairvoyant, you may be a feeler. You ever had a reading and someone was, I see that. They may go, I feel that. And maybe you have a sensation of something. You may hear that. You may, I heard someone, a train whistle, boop, boop. You might have heard a train whistle. Or it depends. You can have multiple things, or you can know that. Like, I know I was that person. You can have that sense of knowing. All right, let's see. Here we go. Laura's gotten a lot of stuff. She's been working on spiritual stuff. I know that. I'm not saying you guys haven't, but I know she's actively taken psychic classes and so forth. I saw a woman with a big skirt, like Gone with the Wind. Okay. I mean, that's definitely a time period. And then she also saw something about the kneeling child too, and the feather. I have done this a few times, so, but you kept switching doors. So I was like, okay, which one am I going to be? But I did get something. The first one I went to 1886, Becca Griswold. It was Gerswald. I think it was German or something, Gerswald. And then I kind of left that because we went to that palace. Remember that clear palace? And then I just felt really intrigued by the clear palace. Like, I've been here, and I just feel those were the Hall of Records or the Akashic Records. And it felt privileged to be there. Definitely an in-between life thing. And there was definitely angels and so forth. But then when we went to our doors and opened the doors, I got a whole download. I got the Duchess of Windsor, because we were asking about a time that was, happy, positive, and all that. The Duchess of Windsor, and I put Juliet, 1792. I don't know if you see that. Got that. That's what, see a little hat? Can you see a little hat? And a little proper hat. And then I got the feelings that I felt was taken care of. Girlish. It's just what I get. Delicate, girlish. I didn't have the same body type I have now. It's like taller and thinner, and more petite, more delicate. Respected, luxury, abundance, my land, my property. I own it all. Wow. It was a good time, wasn't it? Okay, things change. Gentle, kind. I saw the game cricket, where you hit the ball. I heard pins like bowling pins, but they felt like they were real wood, the bowling pins. I saw prosperity. I saw being on a blanket, like a picnic, and looking at a stream. And then I saw looking out and standing up I drew a picture on a balcony looking out on the back. And then I owned all of it. And then I had names come up: Vanderbilt Construction, Bombay Packaging, which was cigars. And either it's Leland or Highland Railways. And it was first class. And I was first class. And I got every day served a fresh flower with my food in the morning. So, Clay, I expect that every day.
Got to step up the game.
No, he's already great. Yeah, he's already great. Which is a lot better than doing the one where I was the circus freak, and then it disformed. So just figured this is way better. But yeah, so because you think when we think about we're limiting and what we are and who we are, it's just a lie, right? It's just a lie. We've been all things. We've been a warrior. We've been a priest or a minister or a holy person, holy man, woman. We've given childbirth. We've not given childbirth. We've been the bad guy. We've been the good guy. We've been all the characters you see on TV, pretty much. We've been the bootlegger. We've been the bootlegger's girlfriend. We've been the criminal. Actually, those are kind of fun to run. I got to be honest. Those are kind of cool. Yeah, they're dangerous, but they're kind of fun. So we don't really die. So why? So the big question for all of us, and I don't know, I want to see questions and I want to see people answer in the chat. Why is it that we keep choosing these lives? Why is it that we keep coming back? What is the essential thing that we need to learn? Why is that? Big picture. You guys want to respond to this? Okay. Anybody, any responses? Why do you think we keep coming back each time? I know we're here to learn, but why? Because we have to agree to it. We do agree to do it. And we do agree to, we forget, what we pick out beforehand. So why is that? I think it's this. Okay, I'm gonna surprise you. All right, here we go. I don't know. I probably have the wrong answer, guys. So I think it's to understand your own soul and to refine the journey, but with more love every time. And I don't think it's just for other people. I think it's for loving yourself. I don't think it's just how do you love yourself despite, you make mistakes, so I think that's part of it. Let's see what else we got. I feel like I am to be humble. Yeah, all of us. Are you kidding? I mean, at least you're listening. If not, you might get a slap on the head from it sound like an Italian mom from God over there. But yeah, you're listening. I think we all do. Let's see. What can I do to finally get to stay? Oh, you mean on the other side? Good luck with that. Everybody asks that. Like, why do we come back? Can't we just stay? My husband says, oh, I'm not coming back next time. I'm like, good luck with that. Because here's the thing, from what I understand, when you have God and your elders and your guides, and I've run in between lives, and they come to you and you have this holy angelic team, and they're saying, you see your life review in 3D, and you see where you screwed up, right? You didn't get it right. You didn't make an A on the test. They're going to say, how would you like to go back and work on that? And for some reason, we just in that presence can't say no. We really can't. It's just so full of love and unconditional. And at that point, you live forever. So, but there are people that do stay on the other side that are more ascended that help us as guides and teachers over there. And they're channeled through, music, art. It's not just being, personal guides to each one of us, but there are ones that are more ascended that do. I did get a guide when you said that name. I've always seen this Indian dude around me. And I knew a long time ago, way back on the track, I was married to him, but I never knew his name. I got his name tonight. Thomas, Thomas, not Thomas. He said, no, he said Thomas, but he said it's actually not English language. But if you had to say it in English, it would be Thomas, but it's actually spelled some other way. So I thought that was kind of cool that came up. So did y'all I say the same thing as Clay? I know we keep coming back, we do. So which means that we're not perfect. We're working on things. And the good news is we don't die and that we're working through this together. And to me, doing this, I thought it was a lot of fun, but it's a reminder we need to be really nice to ourselves because we do make mistakes. I mean, we make mistakes. We're not perfect. We're learning. And so we need to be kind to ourselves because this is not easy being here. I always get, like, if I'm in prayer, sometimes I'll get like a response from my guides. And they'll go, and my angels don't get, no, thank you. No, thank you. I said, thanks for helping me. No, thank you. Because they think us being here is like so brave. Right. So tell us, maybe to kind of, let's see, one more thing. Hold on here. We got a couple more. There you go. Okay. You can work that out with them. You just tell them that. He's my God. My God. He's my God. One of my gods. He's tough. I've got a few. I got Nathaniel, who used to be an angel. This also, but he was human. Yeah, I know. It's funny. I think it was Clay's mom when she had a near-death close experience. She, was kind of traditional, very sweet Methodist lady, not really in her, awareness or typical awareness. And she saw a Native American guide in a field and told her that was one of her guides, and told her to go back. Let's see. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah. Children. Yeah, it could be. I could see that. Mr. T. Okay, you can call your guy Mr. Honestly, they don't care about names, but I think that's cute. Experience duality. This is from Adriana. Learn love by experiencing the opposite. Yeah, that's true. Know what love is by knowing and what love is not. That's a big one. I just got to say this. I know we got to wrap up, but this is really observant and really big because especially those who've had any kind of abuse or any kind of, could be verbal, physical, whatever. It's not pleasant, but what do we learn out of that experience? We learn what love isn't. Unfortunately, we have to see the opposite. I wish I knew. You can work on that. You can get your names. I don't know why people are so hung up on guide names, because they don't care about it. You don't have to be hung up. I mean, I'm personally one of those. You don't really have to be hung up on that, because they're still around you regardless. You can also get them by the way they feel. You can also get it by there's a presence, the way they feel, or sometimes a scent. You can ask them different things. So did you guys enjoy this tonight? I did. I thought it was an awful lot of fun. I thought it was fun. So if people want to learn more, you definitely want to get Jacob's book, Life After Breath, and we're going to have it down below so you can see it. But if there's any books they want to read about as far as past life or anything, there's Brian Weiss, there's Michael Newman. Is there anything you recommend?
Yeah, Michael Newton, Brian Weiss. I mean, Many Lives, Many Masters. That's a really good one. And another good one is, I know you've had her, is Carol Bowman, right? Maybe you were someone else.
I'm not sure.
No, someone else I was speaking to recently had her on as a guest, but Carol Bowman, Children's Past Lives, is another great book, especially for parents trying to have a better understanding of their children, and some of the gifts that they bring to their lifetime and have a different angle towards them. So those are two really good books. And there's this really cool book called Life After Breath by Jacob. No.
We definitely have to put that on there. And, I'm going to do that really quick while we're talking. Just one final thing. It's important. I'm going to put his link up here, even though it'll be down below, but just so you can have it immediately also as well. And I just bought Jacob's book last night on my Kindle. I love my Kindle. I love it. Okay, let me put it here. Breath After what? I'm going to do it for you.
Life After Breath. Yep.
Life After Breath. Pardon me.
And it's right here. This is what it looks like.
Perfect. Because we're trying to increase his book sales and support the people on the show. Life After Breath. Okay, here we go. I'm going to put Jacob. I'm going to give you the link, guys, right here. And another thing, do you ever do anything? I'm curious, Jacob, do you ever do anything as far as therapy with laughter therapy? What do you think about that?
Of what kind of therapy?
Laughter therapy.
Yes. I actually do that within my groups that I run. I run meditation groups, and as well as my mindfulness clients. I find it to be quite opening. That I kind of take from, there's this club in India called the Laughing Club of India, and there's a documentary on it that I watched a couple years ago. And I think so much of our world is we focus on what we have And within this club, there's people who had absolutely nothing, but they have everything inside to experience and express and to give. And so for them, it was watching that. It was the ultimate soulful experience where there was non-attachment to the outer world, but it was just embracing this moment and the beauty of the inner world that we're forever connected to, and laughing really at times how we think life is this body, this lifetime, and everything outside of us, to really make our checklists of our own ability to laugh, and understanding that joy, peace, and laughter is the true nature of who we truly are eternally. And so for people who really are able to get in touch with their soul, oftentimes once they're doing that, it's an automatic response. It's not a heaviness, it's a laughter. And I get into that a little bit in my own book when I had my later in life, my out-of-body experience where I just couldn't stop laughing for a long time. And you find, just physiologically speaking, laughing just squeezes out like a wet towel, all the stress and tension that you're holding. And it's such an opener for your mind, body, and spirit. So I highly recommend, if you can, it takes away the transactional sensation of life, and it gives you a lot of control to say, I don't need any reason to be happy or to feel this. I am that, and I'm going to express that. So it's quite profound.
And when you start laughing that others do, I was like the class clown in school, always made everybody laugh. And the teacher would come in and they would look at me and I would be like, and they were like really like me. So they didn't want to like send me up to the principal. They just she would just talk to me, my teacher. I had a few, and I never really got in trouble because I was not mean. I just got everybody laughing. I got everybody always laughing during the break when the teacher would leave. And it was just one of those where people couldn't stop. I had a problem. I could not stop laughing as a kid. I just laughed all the time. So
I remember that. I would laugh like in inopportune times when everyone was so serious. Like they had like a memorial about someone who passed away, and I'd be the guy who would have to get kicked out of the room because I just couldn't stop laughing. Like whenever people was just so dense and so serious, it just kind of went against the file of my being.
Yeah.
Like let go, dude, and just, release. But yeah, no, laughter is an underrated element towards what we practice. It's, what we do is not so serious and it's not so heavy. And especially right now where things are so dense, that could be something that we could do, is maybe like a laughing club down the road, but we got to chat about that.
No, absolutely. This is experimental. We'll try things. And if you guys like it, we'll do it again, or we'll alter it. Always, if you have any feedback, you can send it to me personally at info@seekingheavenshow.com, info@seekingheavenshow.com. And not that I'm going to do it, but if you've got other people going, hey, I'm like, okay, well, we'll look at it. And if people like something, we'll do more of it, or we'll give it a go. So this is the book with Jacob's book, Life After Breath. And it's a great deal. The Kindle right now, it was $15. He's got it down to $3.99. It's limited amount of time. He's not going to leave it like that. No, really, it is. You should get it at this point so you can. That'll give you something to think about.
The paperback is great too. And the cover design was channeled from me, as was this book. It's got angels in the background and a beautiful ladder. And I also down the road got my first order. So if people want signed autographed copies, U.S. only, I'm starting to ship.
That's a great idea.
On a small kind of scale basis, but
wonderful.
With encrypted message, so you could contact me on my website.
Wonderful.
For just kind of like small, kind of limited kind of thing. But yes, so that's another option.
Oh, wonderful. That's a great idea. That's a great promotional idea, to get a signed copy. So you can get a hold of Jacob on his website, which is jacoblcooper.com. So look, guys, thank you so much for being with us tonight. I know we've gone over a little bit, but these things take longer, and, you can't really speed through the regression. So hopefully you did see pieces, and, you could still, in a relaxed state, still pieces of that. It's still part of you. It's not like, it went away. It's still a part of who you are. And if you didn't see it a lot this time, it's okay. There's always a next time. Thank you for joining. And then next week, we're going to have Chris Keto as the premiere. And then he is going to be talking about balance and also love, about having balance in your life and what that means to him. And that was really cool that organically came up. I said, we need to talk about that. So that'll be come up. Everybody liked it. They said, I thought, yay, you did a great job, Jacob. And then I think we should do something like this again. Definitely by March. Definitely. If we can fit it in, and we'll do that. So look, have a
Amen.
wonderful evening. Thank you guys for it. And next week, I'm doing this seminar for 21 days only for healers. And so I may move 6:30 next time. I'll let you know. So it'll be 6 or 6:30. I'll let you know. If you're on my email, you'll know, and you'll be seeing it. Bye, guys. Much love to everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.